All right, everyone. This is Jack for LoadSafe here, back after about 6 billion years of being in hiatus, and I'm joined by the lovely Connor, kicking it down in London town.
As always,
and we are joined by the one, none other, I can't speak the date, than Mr. Eucubian, Mr. Hal.
Hal Eucubian here.
Hal Eucubian, Halenus.
Why'd you keep calling me Halenus?
I don't know. I think it's solid. Anyway, Hal.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me to be part of your wonderful podcast.
Oh, of course. Now, it's been a wee while, Connor.
It has, Jack. It has.
It's been what? God knows how many years since.
It's probably been like 3 years or so, I imagine.
More than that.
Probably more
the
than
last
that.
thing we did was, excuse me, I'm just turning up the gain a wee bit, was when we did the Silent Hill video, which was back when I was like 17.
So that's at least 3 years.
Yeah. But anyway, we're back and
Wonderful.
we're kicking it. And today we are going to talk about a game that we all love, and I know some of us love even more. It is the Shin Megami Tensei Persona games. So we'll just talk a wee bit about our personal experiences with the games itself, and then we'll talk a little bit at the end about what we want to see with the future of the series. So we'll start off with Connor. Tell us about your Persona lifetime.
Well, Persona didn't really come onto my map before I met you, Jack, actually. You're the one who
he's
introduced
getting all
me
romantic now, isn't he?
to Persona. You talked to me about Persona 3, so I bought a copy of that on the PlayStation 2, even though the PlayStation 2 version was, way too expensive.
It's even more expensive now, which is quite funny.
I got absolutely shafted for £30.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But these games just keep up in price.
See, when Persona 5 comes out, it's going to be unbelievable. It'll be like 60 quid or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take anything away from today, kids, it's buy Persona 3 and 4 now while they're still relatively cheap.
Yes, all the Persona heartthrobs will come out and buy the old Personas away. So,
and good luck if you want to buy the old Personas.
Oh, like 1 and 2.
Yes.
And the other one that was called 2, because there were 2 2s for some reason. I never got my head around why.
And they're like £60 plus.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want.
So by the time 5 comes out, it'll be like £120 plus. In fact, you're basically just cheaper buying a Vita for the sole purpose of Persona.
Yeah, probably.
which I do have the Persona games on my Vita now because it's amazing.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. I bought Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. That's the actual Persona game that I've only finished. That's the only one I've actually finished.
What you mean, like between? Even like you're not finished the PS2 version of 3 or anything, or?
No, I did not get around to finishing the PS2 version of 3.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, I got up to where was I? I was on the train fight, I believe.
Train fight?
Yeah,
that's hard. If I remember that correctly, that's hardly anything.
That's like the start of the game.
The very first boss.
Is it? Is it?
Yes, it is.
I remember that one, and then I remember going into what was it? The Love Hotel.
Oh right, yeah, that was a bit further on. That was when. Did you recruit anyone into your party that month?
I can't remember.
I just remember being in like the bedroom with Yukari, and then she slapped me for no reason.
Yes, I do remember that bit actually. Yes. But yeah, Persona 4 is probably my favourite out of the two that I've played, just because I like the characters a bit more. And I finished it, so there you go.
I suppose that's plays a very large factor in deciding.
Did you buy the originals on Vita?
I mean, I've only bought Persona 3 again on the Vita, and I've started playing through that again on there.
All right, what, the Persona Portable Eye?
Yes,
yeah,
that one
that as well.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. I don't really like it.
I heard it's a bit like I've heard it's good, but it can be a bit iffy because they've like changed it so much so that you can change like. So I mean, because obviously you can choose what gender your character is in Portable, which you can't do in the original. So obviously they've had to make a lot of changes to accommodate for that, and I've heard that can be good and bad in different places.
That and they've kind of taken all the fun of moving around the game.
Oh, that's true. Actually, I forget it's point and click as well.
Yeah, it's quite shit. I'm not a big fan of it
because I really enjoy both in 3 and 4. just basically running about the school, running about the town, just talking to random people. It's good fun for something that sounds so mundane. For what would be mundane in most other games, it is pretty fun.
But they did.
I've always thought that was the best bit of Persona. I'm not a big fan of the actual fighting mechanics of the game. I think the best bit about it is the social aspect, and
that's true. The social links,
to the characters.
Social links do play a very large part in both games.
Probably the only decent part of the game.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not a big fan of the fighting either. I'm not.
Really?
Nah, I quite like the social aspect of the game.
Well, I have to agree that I do prefer the social aspect to the fighting part of the game, but I thought the fighting engine was really good. I really enjoyed the system, particularly the strength and weakness system. I really enjoyed that.
I mean, I don't enjoy the fighting bit of it. I think it's very boring. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about one of you guys. How did you get into it?
I'm surprised we're leaving you till last, Jack, considering you're the one that both
I am the king.
Introduced me and Connor to Persona.
And you both thought I was absolutely mental.
No, I never thought.
You probably still do.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Just a little bit.
Just a small bit. We wouldn't have you any other way, Jack.
I will rule the world.
Oh, God. But yeah, no, I don't even know when you first recommended Persona to me.
I don't remember to this day.
Remember?
In fact, when did we meet? It wasn't long after we met, which was like...
Are you sure it was that early?
Mm-hmm. I started playing Persona 3 in 2008, and I think I introduced you next year, like, because we met. Well, we didn't meet. I knew who you were, but we kind of really hung
until like 5th year of school. No, so that would have been like 2010.
4th year we started like hanging about, lunch,
so
and
maybe 2009.
But 2009, I probably 5 odd years. I call it 5 years.
Well. Anyway, I have absolutely no recollection of 2009 whatsoever. Anything pre-2012 is just a blur to me. So obviously all those hard drugs I was doing back in school.
Of course.
But
drug runner here.
Absolutely. Basically it was only a few months ago that I actually first played a Persona game. A very, very sad story that my ex-girlfriend dumped me and I needed something to fill the void. So there I was.
And what's better than video games?
Exactly. One day I found myself in CEX not long after the breakup, and there was a copy of Persona 3 staring me in the face, so I thought, oh, what the hell, I'll pick it up. And I have been obsessed ever since.
Yes, he has.
Yukari Takaba was there for me when Sarah was not.
Yeah, what about Mitsuru? Mitsuru is so much better than Yukari.
Oh, God, no. It's Yukari. Oh, Connor, settle this.
It's Mitsuru. Mitsuru is the best.
Like, okay, Mitsuru's like,
yes!
No, Mitsuru's like, the girl that you see on covers of magazines. You're like,
exactly.
Yeah, but
Mitsuru's going to make some special love.
But it's not. There's not the realism about. Like, she's too perfect. Exactly. She's
which
too
makes
perfect.
her best. Yukari sucks.
That's why Yukari's better.
Yukari sucks something different.
What were you going to go for? Are you going to go for a normal piece of meat or the best piece of meat?
Exactly.
Oh, but you don't want to go to fancy. It's like going to a really fancy restaurant
and getting Kobe meat or normal meat.
No, sometimes it's just too much.
Mm-hmm. It's like you ever buy a game that kind of. Anyway, what were we even talking about? But we seem to still have this problem.
So
on.
Oh yes. So I think I was saying I became obsessed. It was the Fez version. Yes, pretty much. Got the Fez version of 3. Completed that. Completed the answer on that, which was, I don't know, have either of you guys ever played the answer?
I tried to play the answer and then thought, fuck this, and I never touched the answer again.
Yeah, I touched it for a little bit because I got Persona 3 Fez as well, so I touched it a little bit and then thought, no, this is not for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend, especially for you guys who didn't particularly enjoy the fighting, because there is no social links at all.
Yeah, it's just fighting.
It is just fighting. The story's also, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of dumb. Like, it feels like they've made it. It feels like, as opposed to saying this is an actual place the story will go after the end of Persona 3. It feels like they've said, we want to make a game where Aigis is the main protagonist, and we will bend and break the story so that it fits this no matter what. So it doesn't really flow as nicely or as well as the story in Persona 3, in my opinion. But regardless, I played it to the end just to see how it all ends.
Because he has too much free time,
and also
when he's off uni.
It's university summer holidays, and I needed something to fill my vast days of doing nothing.
Without a girlfriend, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And then maybe, let me think, about 2 months ago, picked up Persona 4 pretty much immediately after finishing the answer in 3, and I'm just about at the end of that now. So yeah, I think I've only got like one more boss fight to go in that, and that's me. So
who did you pursue in that one?
Oh, Yukiko. Although it was a very tough choice between her and Rise.
See, at first I thought I was going to go for Yukiko, but then Rise came along and just lied about my life.
That's the thing, yeah, I know. But I didn't actually have enough time to max out Rise's social link, so I'm glad to go. Oh God, look at this guy. That's like, come on, man. That's like, she's like the Fuka of Persona 4.
No, I wouldn't quite go that far. Fuka was something else.
Fuka was a bit freaky.
Well, Chie's not much different, really. Chie's a bit weird.
Chie likes steak.
Chie does like steak.
Chie does like steak.
She likes the meat.
Really, Jack?
Yes,
we're going
really. We're going down this path.
Let's not go.
We'll be here all night. Right, yeah. Anyway. So.
But yeah, that pretty much sums up my Persona experience. I've also played very briefly the very first Persona game, Revelations. I played it a bit with you, Jack.
Oh, I saw we did. We made up hilarious jokes about it, such as the wee Doug being Snoop Dogg or something.
I can't remember, but it. Yeah, I also played it a bit at my house as well. I played it on an emulator. I think I would, if I bought the PS Vita, I would be able to stick with it, but because it was on an emulator and
he fell asleep.
It was quite tough.
Actually, fell asleep.
No, not only is the game aged, it's not aged the best, to be honest. I think Persona 3 and 4 will age better, or rather have aged better than 1.
One has not aged very well.
Yeah, one's a difficult play.
Yes. And
I reckon
Hal actually fell asleep?
Not quite. Nearly, but not quite.
We even have footage. No, we don't have footage, but we could have made that. Footage. We've got footage.
Oh, footage. Oh, yeah. No, in fact, did you not record it?
Did we? I have
a funny feeling it might be in the archive somewhere.
Footage of you falling asleep, though.
Not quite. But yeah. Excuse me. So
I think that brings us onto the main person, doesn't it? The one who brought us all here.
Absolutely, the one
this game series,
the one that started it all.
Well, right, where did I start? The guy we went to school with called Dale Hantala. Silence, just like that. So he was talking to me one day, and he said, "Oh, you should play this game called Persona." And then I kind of read about it online. I was like, "It's one of these stupid JRPGs. I'll never like it." And he was like, "Oh no, take it home with you." So I used to go around to his house quite a lot. So he was like, take it home. So took it home, started playing it, and then kind of thought, "Oh my god, this is actually quite good."
Yeah.
Played it to death, like back when I actually didn't work. So I had the holidays to sit and play Persona 3 forever. So I sat and did that. I remember going into Tartarus and trying to grind forever, and then the Grim Reaper came.
Oh yeah,
and it basically butt fucked me.
Yeah, I managed to avoid the Grim Reaper for the whole of Persona 3, but I have heard that if you're not like level 90 something,
you're fucked. You're generally fucked,
pretty much.
Unless you have one of those charms that lets you escape.
It's like if you go on a floor in Tartarus and stay there for ages, and I mean like you have to be there for ages, like
you be like at least an hour.
Fuka sort of gives you a message saying, "Oh, death is approaching. You better watch out." And the Grim Reaper chases you,
and he is fast.
If he catches you before you change floors, then you battle him, and generally
you'll die.
destroyed by him. Yeah.
Wow.
Although there is a side quest where you have to kill him.
There's like you can kill him.
Yeah, you can kill him. It's possible.
So
imagine you must get something really good out of that fight.
I think you do.
Yeah. So,
but anyway, yeah.
I can't remember. I used to know, but I can't remember.
Sorry, I played that to death. I finished that. I can't remember much about it now. It was that long ago, but it was probably about a year later. I actually showed Hal a video of me playing it a couple of nights ago when I was like 15. Persona 4. Yeah. I went on to Persona 4, which also, the guy I'm talking about, he lent me that as well. Played that. I didn't finish it. I got about, I'd like to say halfway.
I think you got more than halfway because you got the full party.
Aye. So I'd say more than halfway, and then I just kind of stopped because I was playing other things. And then I kind of went on a hiatus for a while until, was it last year? That I bought a Vita like you, Connor, and I bought it for Persona 4 Golden. And I probably got to about the same point and thought, nah, I'm alright. And I stopped playing it. But I'll admit, Persona 4 Golden is actually a really good game.
So have you not completed Persona 4 then?
No. Although I did. I thought Persona 4 Golden on the Vita looked amazing. Like just for a handheld game, it looked really good.
Really? It looked better than the PS2 version?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
And the screen on the Vita is just beautiful, it looks really good. And I played a little bit of Revelations. Never played Persona 2 to this day. But Revelations, it's not aged very well. Not a big fan of it, but it's a good game if you want to get into that.
I think I'd enjoy it if I had a Vita or a proper console. I think I'd enjoy it, but because it's aged not very well, I found it tough to keep with an emulator. I only managed to put about 2 hours into
that,
it.
and the control scheme in that, especially on a keyboard. If you were playing it must have been horrible.
Especially on a keyboard, was hellish.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I played it on the PS Vita lately, and I still don't think it doesn't hold up very well on there either.
Yeah. There's also, I actually bought, when I was in America, I bought Persona, the remake of the original.
Oh, for the PSP.
Yeah, PSP. I bought that. It's still sealed actually up there. Right. I've still not played that. I don't think I will.
No, you should probably keep it sealed. Yeah. It'd be worth a pretty penny.
I'm not really. I just bought it because it was like $12 sealed. I thought, I'll get that because I'm pretty glad I did.
Why not?
And I also got, back when Persona was cheap, well, I suppose it was in America, so it's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
I got Persona 3 and 4 for a good deal. So
Europe definitely get the worst deal with Persona.
Although it was cheap at one point, but then I think all the cosplayers caught on. And basically.
More or less.
Yeah, so that's kind of my story about Persona. So with that said, we'll just move on a little bit now and we'll talk about some of our thoughts on what we would like to see in future Persona games, such as Persona Q Shadow of Labyrinth?
The Shadow of the Labyrinth.
For the 3DS, we're going to talk a bit about what we want. Well, you can kind of actually see what's in it. I think there's Japanese people streaming it right now.
Yeah, see what's in
that. It's not far away from being released now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the Arena games, obviously Arena's out and Arena Ultimax.
And then there's that stupid rhythm game as well.
Dancing All Night.
I'm getting that game.
I'm almost tempted to get a Vita just for that.
It looks
so ridiculously daft that it might just work.
And then, of course, there's the
Persona 5,
which is coming out for PlayStation 3 and PS4, I believe.
Yeah, it is. I'm really surprised about that.
Yeah, so was I. So I'm glad it's coming out for PS4. I think that'll be really good.
Well, the only problem is now that I want to buy a PS4, because before I was just thinking, I'll just get a PS3 and play it, but now I want to buy the PS4 to get the decent version.
Oh, you better get the hours in,
That's true. Well, I can't work and
earn some money.
Yeah,
you can't work and go to uni. Yes, you can.
Not work and earn the amount of money I need to get a PS4.
You save them pennies. Save them pennies. Right, anyway. Yeah. So we'll start with Persona Q. What do we want to see in Persona Q?
Well, it's pretty much everything I want to see from Persona Q I've seen in like trailers and stuff. It just looks perfect the way they thought, right, we're going to make a completely non-story related game. We're just going to put all your favourite characters into this situation and just basically have a laugh with it. I'm not too sure though on how the two new characters, Ray and Zen, are going to work, because from what I've seen, they seem to count as like one character in battle, the two of them, and it looks like you can't take them out of your party at any time.
Right.
Which I'm not overly keen on that idea. But
no.
It does look like, it looks like, Zen has got a lot of good like physical attacks, and it looks like Ray's got a lot of good healing spells. So I mean, they may be useful. I may really enjoy having them on my team, but the fact that I haven't seen any gameplay where they're not on the team has me at the very least a little anxious, we'll say.
Well, we can only wait and see. It's not too long.
That's
now.
true.
It's
Exactly.
November,
It's only a month
comes
to
out,
go.
so.
Yeah. What else? But I'm really excited to see how, like, by combining the best characters from 3 and 4 into the party.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Let's see what shit they come up with.
Yeah, exactly, and different.
So is it only specific characters from 3 and 4? They're not putting everybody in
they're
it.
Putting like everybody and
They're basically just merging the two parties.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is quite good, because if you think about Persona 3, they're all kind of serious. Well, you've got Junpei, obviously, but like they're all more serious, I think, than the Persona.
Yeah.
Because Persona 4, that's all just like innocent high school kids.
It's more of there's a very different atmosphere.
It's a lighter
whereas
feel,
Persona 3 is all, right, we're this team and we're going to fucking destroy everything.
Yeah. Although
stop the
I am very intrigued. I'm really looking forward to see how Junpei reacts to Chie, Yukiko, and Visei. I've already seen like sort of small bits in trailers, and just the way I absolutely love Junpei as a character. I think he's one of the most
really
characters.
Do you like Junpei?
I think he's really annoying.
Really?
I hate Junpei.
God, no, I love Junpei. I think I'd go as far to say he's the best character in Persona 3.
Why don't you just marry him then?
Fuck off, Jack.
Why don't you just marry him?
But no, he's my favorite. He's my favorite character. Just, I think the way,
really
and I just really like the way he's written. The fact that he's all jokes and happy on the outside.
He's a funny.
When you see him, but like you see a totally different side to him when spoiler alert, Chidori dies. You just see a completely different side to him, and I really like that depth to his character.
And he's like Chidori for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's like the defining moment where his persona's reborn, and it's just, I absolutely love that bit.
And then he goes on an absolute kill streak.
Pretty much, yeah.
Aye, pretty much.
But yes, I'm looking forward to see how he reacts to the 3 girls from Persona 4, because he is notorious for being all over cute girls
and not getting very far.
You can say the same thing about
that's
Teddy
exactly,
and the girls
that's exactly what I was about to say. I also really want to see how Teddy reacts to Yukari, Mitsuru, and Fuka as well.
God, it's gonna be funny.
It will. There'll be a lot, because there are a lot of laughs, and despite being quite serious, 3 was a lot of laughs, and 4 obviously again, because it's more lighthearted, there are even more laughs in that. So
saying that, I hope they kind of keep like the social link aspect, and the exploration.
It'll be tough, because I think it's going to be more of a dungeon crawler than
I think it will be.
Yeah,
but it would
I'm
be,
not sure it's going to have
it
too
would be
much
nice
social aspect.
But I'm hoping that, obviously, because like I think the story is something like the school comes like under some form. Lockdown's the wrong word, but like the school.
So is this set in Inaba, or is it set in?
Well, it's Inaba. Well, basically, there's like, how in the answer there was that big dungeon underneath the dorm.
Yeah,
it's similar to that, like Shadows of Blade.
Right, okay, right. I can get what you mean now.
That's Ascami High, and there's like a passageway from there to the school from Persona 3 from like 2 years ago, and that's where they all meet.
Right.
What was I going to say?
You've obviously looked very much into this game.
I'm really excited for it.
Well, no shit.
Exactly.
I've not heard anything else from
pretty much.
Weak.
Yeah, I've just been annoying Jack all the time with like Persona articles and Persona memes and all sorts.
Very personal.
Very personal
stuff,
Does it personally affect
I was actually
you?
sitting in work, like, I can't be bored with this, and like looking at this big pile of junk of what I needed to move, and then I just get hundreds of memes from him. Just
all those papers in your work becoming a bit unbearable.
God damn it.
Let's not do the bear jokes. Let's not do bear puns, please.
Did someone say bear?
I hope you're prepared for
also
this unbearable.
I think this is appropriate time to get the listeners, the 9 listeners out there, to go and look up the
Himsday or something like that.
Himsday Persona 4 comic animation on YouTube. It is quite possibly one of the funniest videos.
Absolutely, I was killing myself at it.
Have you seen it, Connor?
So accurate.
No, I haven't. You'll need to send me a link.
You will receive a link. You will.
Have you two seen the Persona 4 anime or the Persona 3 anime?
I've seen trailers for
I've not seen. I'm waiting to complete 4 before I watch the anime, but I've seen. Was there a Persona 3 anime series? Because I've only seen the part 1 of the movie. Yeah, I've seen part 1 of the movie. They haven't translated part 2 as far as I'm aware.
And they've made a play
translated part 1 yet?
Yeah, they've translated part. Well, rather, they've dubbed it. Subbed it even. So that's what I watched. It's basically identical to the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it nonetheless. It was good to see how the protagonist acts, like how the character they've given. I believe the Persona 3, like Persona 4 protagonist's name is Yu, and that's it. But there's like in different
Akame.
Yeah, but whether in like some anime and manga, Persona 3's protagonist is Minato, some is Mikato, and there's a few.
I've always thought it was Minato.
That's what I thought it was, but there's a few things out there. We'll call him Minato for the sake of now. I quite like the way Minato's character they've written his character, because they've basically just made him really antisocial and miserable, and him with Junpei just creates some really great moments in the movie for me.
Aye.
Yeah.
So there's the movie, and then of course there's Persona Q, but there's the big one that I think not anybody, well, unless you're developing the game, but nobody really knows anything about Persona 5.
Oh, the only thing that's public knowledge, as far as I'm aware, is is basically what the protagonist looks like,
and the trailer.
Yeah, that was the TGS trailer, wasn't it?
And then there's the other freaky trailer with the chairs and the sort of
like the ball
and the chains and the chairs.
If I remember the trailer, it was like on a train. Was it in like a city?
Yeah, it was basically just the protagonist sitting on the train and walking through the city.
The question is, what do we actually hope Persona 5 will be like with setting? Do we want to see it like a more serious, a lighter side? And, do we want it to stick to the same formula, or do we want to see it evolve? So basically discuss.
Well, I would like to see it set. Well, it looks like it's set in Tokyo. It looks like you're on the bullet train there, doesn't it? So I think it's going to be there, and I hope that it's more like Persona 4, like a lighter-hearted.
I was going to say the opposite. Actually, I'm hoping for a more dark storyline.
It would be good to
with funny
strike a balance between the two.
Yeah. I think they are going to go for a more dark-hearted one. You can see with the pictures of the chairs with the chains on them and stuff. Yeah. It looks like they're going to be probably going for a darker side.
That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But I think it'll be interesting if it is in like a Tokyo or a bigger city. I'd be interested to see in how that compares with the likes of Persona 4, since that's set in Inaba, the tiny countryside, nowhere basically.
And then of course Persona 3 was set in like a town. It was like a wee island.
It was a wee island, but I mean it was still relatively big.
It was urban, but then it'd be good to see a city. I think that'd be really interesting. And also I thought it'd be really good to see, like, a lot of people have been saying this on forums and stuff, like they'd like to see the characters evolve from being like students to like
university
or like,
so perhaps a story that lasts over multiple years as opposed to just a 1 year story.
I mean that could be even just like especially if it's like set in university or college, it would be really good.
Oh, you mean start from university or college from the get-go as opposed to school.
Like it would be good to perhaps it'd be good to see more mature.
What'd be interesting is like obviously in Persona 3 the characters are either in like second or third year of high school. Obviously the last 2 years of Japanese high school. And in 4, they decided to go with like a younger party with everyone in first and second year of high school. What I think might be quite interesting would be if the protagonist was in maybe like third year of high school, managed to rope some like first year university or just people in jobs, like people who had graduated from high school into the party. I'm not sure how that would work, but...
Are you sure they're in high school though? Because the TGS trailer, again, I've watched it a couple of times, and it doesn't look like they're in a uniform.
No,
really, does it?
You
see the two girls in uniform, but it doesn't really.
No, the protagonist has got a wee crest on his chest, so it definitely looked like a school uniform to me. Is because he's definitely got like a wee crest on his chest, and bear in mind, it could just be a very unique looking school uniform. Like, for instance, Yasogami High's boys' uniform. That's not exactly a standard uniform with the massive collar. Stuff. But it could be another thing like that. But it'd be interesting either way, whether they do go for like university or whether they decide to stick with the formula for school.
I think they'll stick with high school. Just a thought. I think they'll follow.
It'd be interesting to see though the sort of university or a sort of working man's or like even I don't know how an office would work, but
well, I suppose what you mean about an adult's life. Basically.
Yes, exactly. Even though, like,
but I don't think they'll go past the whole doing it in a year thing anyway. If they're going to pick one like classroom of characters, they're going to have them in that class for a year. That's what they've done with the past couple of games. They're probably not going to change that.
I guess because it's like the games are long enough as they are, and even if they did make it over like say 3 or 4 years, but they like sort of skipped certain months or whatever, just so that means the game wasn't like 300 hours long.
You know what? If it was 300 hours, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, the 1 year method seems tried and tested and it works, so they're probably going to stick with that, I reckon.
Yeah, I think doing it over three or 4 years or whatever would be a bit too long. The characters, I don't think you could quite drag out there.
Particularly, because like to do that thing in a reasonable amount of that length of time in a reasonable amount of real time. You would have to skip bits and pieces of the story, and that would mean like you wouldn't become as close to the characters as you would over the year-long period where you see them all the time. It's like with Persona 3 and 4. You feel like you are the character. You're doing stuff the character would every single day. You're choosing what they do. You go into that environment.
I think also what we could talk about, like, it'd be nice to see the series actually, well, if you think about it, Persona 3 and 4, although they're completely different, they do kind of follow the same formula. You go out during the day and then you fight.
Every month there's a new boss that you've got to train up for. And if you haven't beat the boss by the end of the month, then you get a game over.
And then
that's something actually which I am not a fan of. But I mean, I understand the need for the time limit, particularly because of the
pressure on the characters.
Yeah, particularly because of the fact that that it's on a real life calendar. But I preferred I guess 4 in the sense that you could train up and attack the boss as soon as you were ready. And that would leave you with 3 time afterwards, as opposed to 3, where you'd have to train up, and then when you thought you were ready,
full moon comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Just wait for the full moon, and if you weren't ready, then you were screwed.
Then you're screwed. That's exactly what happened with me in 3, and that's why I didn't like it as much as I liked 4.
Yeah, you have to sort of be careful with 3 in that sense. So hopefully they'll go for a formula similar to 4 in the sense that any bosses you can take on whenever you want within the restriction of as long as you've beaten it by such and such a date.
It would be good to see if they actually try to evolve the design of the game, like rather than being at the end of every month you need to smash this boss. It'd be something different.
It would be nice. Like, I guess they did that a little bit.
What would you like them to do?
Well, I suppose I do like the formula, but it would be good to see a different take on it. Like, you'd have not like a linear sort of system, but I don't know, it would be nice to see them try something different and see how it goes.
The thing is, it's hard to figure out
break out of that.
Could they do, bearing in mind that they're on a real life calendar.
It would also be good to see them develop the social side as well. Like for people that only like this. Like I know there's plenty of people that don't like the whole you have to smash a boss every month. They just want to go out and do all the social links.
I would actually be perfectly happy if like they released a Persona game
I suppose
solely on social links, sort of like Animal Crossing sort of style of game.
They have kind of been doing it. They've been putting like
Persona.
They've been putting like a beginner
crossing thing,
like a very very easy difficulty. Like it was in Persona 4 Golden, where basically every boss was just insanely easy.
Yeah,
you could literally you could spend the entire month just chatting up lassies and going and doing this, and you could get to the boss and you'd have no bother at all.
That's good. That was a good addition, actually.
I really liked that.
Would you like to see in a Persona love simulator?
I'm you know, there's enough fan fiction out there.
Yeah, there's probably even like someone's probably coded some visual novel of some description.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. There's probably some fan
novel. That's already
absolutely.
So yeah, any more points on what we want to make about Persona 5?
Would you want to see any like I know, like in the past two games, you've had like Teddy, who's been a shadow from the other dimension. You've had like that dog.
Oh, Koromaru. I like Koro.
Would you want to see another thing
like a quirky character?
Yeah,
I'd like to see because it brings
something not like human.
It brings some spice to the party. I feel is something a bit different. It's something that you don't really see in many other, if any other games for that matter, particularly in the sense of like the dog party member. That's something unique, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, let's date the dog.
You can take the dog to the cinema in Persona 3.
You can take the dog to the cinema.
Yeah, like you know how like in the summer holidays.
What cinema lets a dog in?
There's a dog. Okay, you can have gay dogs.
I'm sure there are cinemas that let dogs in.
Gay dogs.
Just go in with your sunglasses on. They'll never know.
Oh, would you like to have you sit and watch the film?
Your Persona. Actually, it's like in Persona 4. There, did you ever pursue the social link with the fox?
Oh Jesus, I just remember.
Oh, the mysterious
fox.
Yeah.
He was a weird one, though.
That was a weird one.
Where you had to like do. It was basically like do a side quest.
Tasks. Yeah.
And then going to the shrine got really weird.
Yeah. Although that's the thing. I'm not sure if I'd like to see social like. They put that social link and the Margaret social link into Persona 4, where basically the progression of those were based solely on completing sort of mini quests.
Yeah.
I'm not keen to see that come back.
You know what? I need to make an argument here.
What?
They need to drop Igor.
What?
That's the thing. Igor is quite a fundamental character, but I would like to see a new Igor.
I want to see an Igor that's not an old demented man who talks about this slowly, you're sitting all day.
No, you've got to have Igor. You've got to have Igor. He sets the scene so well.
I don't know. I think it'd be nice to see a different Igor, because he didn't have Igor in Persona 1, and I don't think he was in 2, was he?
I remember he wasn't in 1. To be honest. I think he was in. There was something in 1.
But there's lots of things that weren't in 1 and 2 that were in Persona 3 and 4.
That's true.
There was like masked guy in 1, I remember.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember his name, but
I don't like the Igor.
I think
he's got a big nose, and
I wouldn't mind if he came back, but I think it'd be interesting if they renovated the character.
Yeah, made
him different.
Yeah.
What do you think the new assistant's going to be like, though? Obviously, we've had
let me see, right. Criteria, short skirt. Okay. Long legs.
Blue skirt.
Yeah.
Cleavage.
Really has a crush on the character.
Okay, guys. Okay, let's not get weird here.
Implying we aren't already weird.
Yes. So I think that just about does it. Because we're kind of talking about shite now, as we usually do.
Yeah.
What else are we going to do?
Exactly. So.
Actually, something I meant to bring up. How do you think the evocation of personas is going to work? For example, in Persona 3, you shot yourself in the face, but in Persona 4, they sort of brightened it up a bit and just made it so you had to tear a power card in half. I'm intrigued with this ball and chain idea. I don't know if it's going to be something to do with that, or perhaps,
break the chain to unlock your persona,
maybe something like the ball and chain is something that people, and like obviously, say for example, it's like another world, like the TV world in Persona 4, like non-Persona users who go into that world have the ball and chain and are broken free when they get their Persona or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I reckon there's a lot of possibilities in there and how like the ball and chain will work and like the evocation of personas will work, and I'm intrigued to see how that's going to turn out.
That's if they go down the ball and chain path. That could have just been something just to push people off
I don't know if they'd go that far, because it seems quite a fundamental part of at least that trailer anyway.
I don't know. Tell me, only time will tell. But yeah, it'd be good if they like smashed a chair like off like WWE style. Like,
well, that's what Taiji does in 4.
Oh, I forgot about that. Aye.
You like.
You can swing the chain and ball around, and you can just throw it at your enemies.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
There you go.
Slightly daft. It would be cool.
But anyway,
still cool.
Anyway, folks, we're kind of running along a bit late here. Since we've been ranting on for nearly an hour.
Only 43 minutes.
Only 43. So about 40. Okay, let's call it 40 minutes.
Which I'm sure you'll cut down.
I'm just going to cut Connor, just like so it's just me.
How true.
I'll just put Connor's voice in by himself. So, it'll just be him ranting at a wall.
Oh, what do you think, Connor? And then just blank for 5 minutes.
Right, anyway, I think that'll do it. So this has been our first podcast since, 2011, 2010?
Something like that.
I think it's went quite well.
It's been alright, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good job, Jack. Good job, guys.
Because we used to just do like bombcast style, didn't we? Just be like, what are you playing, Connor? I'd be like, I played nothing, and then that was it, basically. Well, maybe not quite with that voice.
This hasn't been much different.
Pretty much. It's just us ranting at the end of the day,
and then it'd be quite good to do some more discussions.
I'd be interested to do more discussions.
We're going to talk. I'm trying to think. A game Hal hates.
Game I hate.
A game Hal hates.
Well, we can do a Resident Evil discussion, and I can talk about how I very much dislike Survivor.
Oh yes.
You don't like Resident Evil?
No, I love Resident Evil. Resident Evil Survivor though is kind of crap.
Yeah.
I don't. But
anyway, we'll save that.
Probably you shouldn't.
We'll save that for another video. We'll save that for
next time. Yeah, save it for another video.
But anyway, Connor, thanks for joining. Nice to see.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And Hal from the east side of town. The east side of town. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to fangirl with Persona with you all.
Oh, of course. And with that, guys, we'll see you all next time.
And
see you later.
Don't forget that Yukari's still the best.
And go out.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes.
Yes.
No.